The city lights sparkled as I browsed through the profiles on the dating app, my mind restless from the monotony of everyday life. Among the sea of faces, her profile stood out, a mysterious woman whose age hinted at wisdom and experience beyond my own. Curiosity took over, and I clicked on her profile. As snippets of her life appeared on the screen, I couldn't escape the feeling of familiarity. It wasn't until I reached the end of her photo gallery that I was shocked. In one of the photos, Misha's mom was standing there and smiling back at me. The realization of this fact hit me like a wave. The woman I had just stumbled upon was not just a stranger, but a person deeply connected to my past. Determined to make sense of this unexpected connection, I pulled out my phone and dialed Misha's number. The ringing echoed in my ear until he picked up with a casual, "Hi, how are you?" "Misha," I began hesitantly, "you won't believe what just happened. I was flipping through a dating app and came across someone you might know." "Really? Who?" he asked curiously. "Your mom," I replied, hesitating for a moment before the weight of the revelation came over me. There was a pause on the other end, broken only by the distant hum of city life. "My mom? On a dating site?" Misha's disbelief was palpable. "Yeah, that's weird. But there's more to it. I need to talk to you about it," I said, feeling the situation getting more serious with each word. We agreed to meet at our usual place, a quiet cafe away from the hustle and bustle of the city. As I sat across from Misha, tension was in the air. "Well, tell me, what's going on with my mom?" he demanded, narrowing his eyes. I recounted the entire situation, and Misha's face reflected disbelief as he absorbed the unexpected revelation. "I don't know what to do about it," I admitted, realizing that this meeting had the potential to change the course of our lives. Misha sighed, running a hand through his hair. "This is crazy. I never thought I'd find out about my mom from a dating app. What are we going to do now?" And there, in a quiet cafe, surrounded by the hum of conversation and the smell of freshly brewed coffee, the journey into the uncharted world of Misha's mom began. The following days passed in a whirlwind of contradictory emotions. I couldn't get rid of the memory of the perplexed expression on Misha's face during our conversation in the cafe. Determined to navigate uncharted territory, I was drawn deeper and deeper into the intrigue surrounding Misha's mother. One evening, as the city lights began to twinkle, I received a text from her. "Can we meet? I'd like to explain everything," the message read. The invitation hung in the air, tantalizing me with the possibility of understanding the woman behind the enigmatic profile. We decided to meet in a quaint park, on neutral ground, where we could have some privacy among the public. As we strolled along the winding paths, Misha's mom began to unravel the layers of her life. She spoke of a recent journey of self-discovery, of hobbies long buried under maternal duties. "I never thought you would find out like this," she confessed, her eyes reflecting vulnerability and determination. "But life surprises us in its own way, doesn't it?" I listened, torn between the devotion I felt for Misha and the growing connection I couldn't deny. Her story painted a portrait of a woman who, like everyone else, sought love and fulfillment, even if she had to take unconventional paths to do so. As we parted ways that evening, the road ahead seemed both clearer and more obscure at the same time. The uncharted territory I had entered was no longer just curiosity. It had become a complex landscape of emotions, secrets, and untold stories. In the days that followed, I struggled with my beliefs. Was it fair to keep this from Misha? Could I continue down this path without jeopardizing the foundations of our friendship? The city skyline that had once been a familiar beacon now reflected the uncertainty hanging over my newfound connection. An acquaintance that began with a simple notification had grown into a journey of self-discovery that challenged the boundaries of friendship and love. Little did I know that this uncharted territory would lead me to confront not only my own desires, but also the tangled complexities of the relationships that defined my life. Days turned into nights, and the secret meetings with Misha's mom continued. Each stolen moment became a tapestry of shared laughter, whispers, and the undeniable chemistry in the air. The cityscape, once familiar, now witnessed the unfolding drama of secrets and confessions. Late one night, as we sat on a quiet rooftop overlooking the city, Misha's mom began to talk about her life. The lights of the city twinkled below, reflecting the complexity of emotions that danced between us. "You know, there's a lot more to my story than meets the eye," she admitted, and her eyes sought understanding in mine. As she spoke, I learned about the dreams she had put on hold, the sacrifices she had made for her family, the longing for a connection beyond the role she played in the lives of those around her. It was a revelation that deepened the bond between us, but the weight of secrecy cast a shadow over the budding intimacy. "I never thought I would find solace in someone so unexpected," she confessed, exposing heartfelt secrets. "But life has a knack for surprises, doesn't it?" The rooftop became a confessional, a place where two souls laid bare their truths. The city below, oblivious to our confessions, continued to beat rhythmically. In that moment, the lines between good and evil blurred, and the complexity of human connection became apparent. As the night wore on, we reluctantly descended from the roof, carrying our secrets like a burden. The city streets whispered echoes of our confessions, and the weight of unspoken truths settled on us. A meeting that began with a simple notice grew into a dance of shared vulnerabilities. The uncharted territory I traversed was no longer mere curiosity. It was a realm of emotion where loyalty and desire collided, leaving me to deal with the consequences that loomed on the horizon. The crossroads of loyalty was becoming an increasingly difficult place to navigate. Sneak glances and quiet conversations painted a secret picture of a bond that defied societal norms. As time passed, the dichotomy between my loyalty to Misha and my undeniable chemistry with his mother intensified. One evening, in the dim light of one of the city's drinking establishments, Misha turned to me. "I sense that something's not right. Is there something you're not telling me?" he asked, and his eyes searched for the truth. Caught off guard, I stumbled half-heartedly, trying to hide a secret that threatened to destroy the very fabric of our friendship. "It's complicated, Misha. I need time to figure it all out," I replied, feeling the weight of guilt settle in my chest. The pulse of the city throbbed around us, mirroring the inner turmoil. The devotion I felt for Misha clashed with the magnetic pull of his mother, creating a tension that hung in the air like a thunderstorm ready to break. Days went by, the secret meetings continued, and each encounter deepened the entrenched bond. But the fear of exposure and its consequences became a shadow looming over each stolen moment. One night, as we stood on the edge of a moonlit bridge overlooking the cityscape, Misha's mom uttered words that echoed through the night. "You and I stand at a crossroads. Loyalty and desire, intertwined, are pulling us in different directions." The truth of her words rang out in the ensuing silence. The city below seemed to hold its breath, waiting for a decision that would reverse the relationships entangled in this complex dance. The crossroads of loyalty were treacherous, and I was torn between maintaining a lifelong friendship and succumbing to the magnetic pull of a bond that defied reason. As the city slept, I stood on the threshold of making a decision, knowing that whichever path I chose, it would sweep through the lives of those I cared about. The dilemma of my heart unfolded like a complex tapestry woven from threads of loyalty, desire, and fear of irreparable consequences. The lights of the city blurred in a mosaic of uncertainty as I struggled with the weight of a decision that could turn everyone's life upside down. One fateful night, I found myself on a familiar rooftop where confessions were already being made and secrets shared. Tension was in the air, and Misha's mom and I were facing the inevitable reckoning. "I never thought it would turn out like this," she whispered, and her eyes reflected heartbreak. "But here we stand on the threshold of a choice that could change everything." The city below seemed to hold its breath, as if waiting for a decision to hang in the balance. The dichotomy between loyalty and desire became a tangible force, pulling me in opposite directions. A text from Misha arrived on my phone. "We need to talk," the phrase read, filled with foreboding. The confrontation I had avoided for so long was now inevitable. When I met up with Misha at our favorite park, the tension between us was palpable. "What's going on, kid? You've been kind of distant lately," he said, and his eyes searched mine for an answer. The truth was spilling out, each word a heavy confession of the tangled emotions that had become entwined in our lives. The city around us witnessed the crumbling of a friendship that had weathered the storms of childhood. "I didn't mean for this to happen," I confessed, feeling the weight of guilt and the pain of betrayal in every syllable. Misha's reaction was mixed: shock, anger, and hurt. The echoes of our shared laughter, childhood secrets, and camaraderie now seemed like distant memories. A heartbreaking dilemma became apparent, leaving behind a broken bond and an uncertain future. As I stood on the threshold of choice, the lights of the city blurred into a kaleidoscope of regret and longing. The heartbreaking dilemma wove a story of love and friendship, leaving me to deal with the consequences of a decision that changed the landscape of my life